All right, let's talk about something that trips up so many people on their AWS certification exams: security groups versus network ACLs. Getting these two straight is absolutely essential, so today we're going to break them down for good. So you've done the hard work. You've built your application in your very own virtual private cloud, your VPC. But now the big question comes up: how do you actually protect it? Securing that VPC is the bedrock of everything you do in AWS. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to use a simple analogy that will make this stuff really stick. We'll look at the two virtual firewalls AWS gives you, then we'll zero in on the single biggest difference between them, the one that shows up on the exam all the time. Then we'll see how they work together, and we'll wrap up with the absolute must-know facts for exam day. Okay, let's get started. I want you to picture your VPC as a massive castle. And inside that castle, running on a server, is your application. That's the crown jewels, the treasure we need to protect. Now, to guard that treasure, AWS doesn't just give you one lock. It gives you two totally distinct layers of firewall protection. Think of them as a giant outer wall and a dedicated personal bodyguard. Each one has a very different job. Let's start with that first line of defense, the Network Access Control List, or as you'll always hear it, the NACL. This is your castle's imposing, super high outer wall that surrounds the entire grounds. So what is an NACL really? Well, it's a firewall, but it operates at the subnet level. That means it's not guarding one specific building. It's guarding an entire neighborhood or section of your castle grounds. It decides who gets to come in or out of that whole area. And here are the key things you gotta know about NACLs. They protect the whole subnet. They can have both allow and deny rules. That's a big deal. And the rules are checked in numerical order. As soon as a packet matches a rule, boom, the decision is made, and the rest of the list is ignored. Okay, so let's say some traffic gets past that big outer wall. Is it home free? No way, because now it has to deal with the personal bodyguard that's assigned to our treasure, the instance itself. And that's our security group. Unlike the NACL that guards the whole neighborhood, a security group is a mandatory firewall that's attached directly to your server's virtual network card. It's standing right at the door, giving you incredibly specific granular control. Now look at the contrast here. Security groups are at the instance level, not the subnet. They only support allow rules. There's no deny. And here it is, the most important difference of all. Security groups are stateful. They have a memory, and that changes everything. I've said the words a few times now, stateful versus stateless. This concept is a classic exam favorite, so let's zoom in and make sure this is absolutely crystal clear. Think about it like this. A stateful bodyguard lets you into the room for a meeting. Because they're stateful, they remember you. When you leave, they know who you are and just let you out. But that stateless wall guard, they have zero memory. They check your ID on the way in, and then they check it all over again on your way out, every single time. This scenario right here is the classic exam trap. A user asks for your website. The request comes in, the NACL allows it, the security group allows it, great. Your server prepares the web page to send back. The stateful security group says, oh yeah, I remember this conversation, go ahead. But then, the packet hits the stateless NACL on the way out. The NACL has totally forgotten about the original request and blocks the traffic, unless you've specifically created an outbound rule to allow it. So you're probably thinking, why on earth do we need both? This sounds complicated. Well, it's because using them together lets you build an incredibly powerful security posture called defense in depth. It's all about layers. Here's the strategy. You use your security groups for that smart, fine-grained control. You know, things like only my web servers are allowed to talk to my database servers. Then you use the NACL as a big, blunt instrument. It's your first line of defense to, say, block a known bad IP address from ever even getting close to your entire subnet. Okay, if you're a screenshot person, this is the slide. This table is your ultimate cheat sheet for the exam. Seriously, just burn this into your brain. Instance versus subnet, stateful versus stateless, allow only versus allow and deny. These are the differences that will for sure show up on your test. All right, let's bring it home. If you remember nothing else from this explainer, I want you to remember these next 4 points. These are the absolute must-know facts for your certification. Number 1, and it's the big one, security groups are stateful. That means return traffic is automatically allowed. You don't need a separate outbound rule for a response. Number 2, network ACLs are stateless. No memory. You must create explicit inbound and outbound rules for a conversation to work. Number 3, the order of operations. For any traffic coming into your instance, it has to get past the NACL at the subnet border before it ever even gets checked by the security group. If the NACL says no, the security group never even sees the packet. And finally, number 4, NACLs have a special power that security groups don't. They can explicitly deny traffic. So if you need to block a bad actor, the NACL is the tool for the job. So you see, getting a handle on these two services is about way more than just passing a test. It's fundamental to how you build applications on AWS that are both secure and resilient. Remember the castle, remember the bodyguard, and you'll not only nail the exam questions, but you'll be well on your way to building truly robust cloud architectures.